Warriors, welcome to another important video on my channel. If you have not subscribed to the #1 anxiety support channel on YouTube, please go ahead and do that now. Friends, there are many elements when it comes to anxiety, and the question I have for you is, are you responding consciously to any element of anxiety? Or are you still reacting unconsciously to any element of anxiety? A conscious response says, well, it's not the way it used to be anymore, right? We're no longer in a frantic state. We no longer believe the same things we believed during those difficult times in my life when I experienced traumas and collected all these different memories and have all these core beliefs within me. So a conscious response is an updated response that says something is no longer threatening and now it's quite neutral. In fact, I'm actually enjoying this environment. Whereas an unconscious reaction is kind of like, oh, if I feel it, then that's what it is, right? If I unconsciously think it, then it must be true. You are the slave, you are the victim of your negative emotions, your feelings, any unconscious or reflexive thoughts that you have. And my friends, if you continue to be a slave to all of this unconscious reacting, then it becomes very difficult to put your heart into this change work and overcome anxiety for good. So at some stage we have to say, I'm going to take control of my mind, my body, my spirit. I'm going to be a responder and no longer a reactor when it comes to any element of my anxiety. So here's what we have to do, okay? Starting today, it's very, very important that you keep it simple mentally, okay? When you're responding to any element of anxiety, you keep it simple mentally. Meaning, don't look to engage in a tug of war of thoughts between the reflexive or irrational thoughts and your conscious ones. Instead, what I want you to do is I want you to keep it simple by using one word, such as flow. Flow. So when an element of anxiety shows up, there you are, prepared, anticipating the challenge, and you use the word flow, which represents your willingness to let the anxiety flow through you. Okay, this is just one example of a conscious and simple response, because so many anxiety sufferers, what do I think? Do I think positively now? Do I replace a thought? What do I do mentally? What do I do behaviorally? Stop all that. Let's keep it simple. Let's focus on one word. So we say flow, and flow activates that willingness that says, hey, here it is, and I'm going to let it flow through me, right? I'm no longer going to engage, and I'm not going to resist the anxiety anymore. Or you may even use the word cancel. Okay, so in that very moment where anxiety strikes mentally, let's keep it simple. Let's use the word cancel. And when you use the word cancel, what tends to happen is, if you use it with enough heart and emotion behind it, it'll stop the progress of anxiety, right? It'll stop the cycle of anxiety and irrational fear that tends to take over. Cancel says, I no longer believe in that. That's no longer a program for me, right? So you can use the word flow, which says I'm not going to fight this or resist this. Let this feeling, let this thought run through me, right? Or you could use the word cancel, which represents the idea that I no longer believe that and there's something new coming in and it's safe to adopt a new perception. Warriors, like I mentioned earlier, I want to make sure that you no longer play a tug of war in terms of your thoughts, because in today's world, we call anxiety a mental health challenge or a mental health illness. And what happens is, as long as we continue to think that it's a mental health problem, what's going to happen is we're always going to try to solve it from the mental perspective. We have to think something different. We have to, engage in some different thoughts and this and that. Next thing you know, it's your new ideas or new thoughts that are up against these subconscious thoughts that have been so well practiced unconsciously and consciously, and you just feel like you're losing the battle all the time, right? And you don't want to feel defeated every single time you apply something new in regards to healing anxiety. No, you don't want to feel defeated. You want to feel like you're making progress, and you want to feel like you're building a relationship with that part of you, that subconscious part of you that's looking to protect you through the anxiety symptoms, through the reflexive thoughts, right? Through the feelings that you feel, through the sensations and symptoms, because that's what this is all about. It's about relationship building. So the next time an anxiety element shows up, keep it simple. Use the word flow or use the word cancel in terms of a conscious response to the anxiety element, and I promise you, when you continue to do this repeatedly, you're going to find that the answers that you seek are a lot simpler than you thought they were. So warrior, keep going, and remember that you are more than anxiety. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.